U.S.M.C. Starring Jim Nabors as Gomer Pyle. Also starring Frank Sutton as Sergeant Carter.
Seattle World's Fair. Seattle World's Fair. Memory, memory.
Hey, Sergeant. Something wrong with your car?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm just giving her a last cleaning out before saying goodbye. Pyle. See this old rubber horse? Try and imagine it blown up with Bunny laying across it and me pushing her around San Diego Bay, waving goodbye to the fleet. Yeah, that's when we were young. Pyle, look at this basket. Boy, I wish I had a dime for every picnic lunch Bunny packed in this.
What is it, Sergeant?
Never mind, just throw it away.
Sergeant, did I hear you say you was cleaning her out just before saying goodbye?
Yeah. As of today, the old butts and I have driven our last mile together. From here on in, it'll be somebody else's foot on the accelerator.
I don't understand, Sergeant.
I'm selling it, Pyle. I'm selling it at Sergeant Hacker. Boy, if this old car could only talk. All them drives Bunny and me took along the ocean. Them hot days on the beach when we used to crawl under it to get out of the sun. And the nights we used to park up on Lover's Lookout. I remember once when the horn got stuck and they almost pushed us off the cliff. Yeah, the old bus could write a bestseller, that's for sure.
With all those pleasant memories, Sergeant, why are you selling her?
It's costing me, Pyle. You know cars. They reach a certain age and whammo. You gotta be a millionaire to keep them in gasoline alone.
You mean you ain't getting good gas mileage?
12 miles to the gallon. 12 miles. I can't afford it. Not an old car and a girl who eats like Bunny both.
Sergeant, golly, if it's just a question of gas mileage, I'd be glad to look at your carburetor for you.
Oh, no, thanks, Pyle. Whatever it needs, let Hacker worry about it. Me, I'll just take the $250 and I'll look around for
$250? Is that all? Golly, Sergeant, I sure wished I'd known you was selling her. I'd have bought it from you in a second.
You?
Sure, what with me going into town to see Lou Ann every free night, why, I figure I could buy a car just from the savings of bus fare alone.
Yeah. Well, I wish you'd told me, Pyle. I'm afraid Sergeant Hacker beat you to it. Now, if you don't mind, I do believe you're keeping your wheelbarrow waiting.
Well, I'll see you tonight at the bus stop, Sergeant. Hey, Sergeant, if I get there before you do tonight, you want me to save you a seat? That way, if it gets real crowded, you wouldn't have to sit over the back wheels or anything.
No, thanks, Pyle. Sergeant Hacker's gonna give me a lift in.
Hey, Vince, take it easy on my trunk, huh?
You got the dough?
All set, pal, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is 10. 10 is 20.
What's this? Where's the rest?
Well, it's coming.
Okay, kick in.
Well, look, Vince, I don't have it all right now. But I'll pay you the rest. Don't worry. Yeah, $10 a week.
Oh, no, you don't, Hacker. Nobody said anything about buying on time. You want the car, it's cash on a barrel top.
But, Vince, you didn't say that.
Well, I'm saying it now. No $250, no deal.
Well, Vince, wait a minute.
I ain't got a minute, seeing as how I'm keeping a legitimate cash customer waiting. Hey, Pyle.
Oh, hey, Sergeant.
Pyle, are you still interested in buying my car?
Sure, but I thought you said Sergeant Hacker was...
No, he ain't buying it. You got the cash, the car's all yours.
Shazam! Well, I sure do want it.
Good. And you sure you got the cash?
All I gotta do is go over to the bank during noon chow, if that's all right with you.
Oh, yeah, fine, Pyle. That'll be just fine. Oh, one more thing, Pyle. It's usually not a good idea to sell a car to anybody you know in case something goes wrong with it. I mean, you know about the rotten mileage, so don't blame me.
Oh, I know, Sergeant, but maybe I can do something about that. I'll take a look at the carburetor.
Sure, sure. Well, see you at noon chow. And you will have the cash, right?
Oh, you bet, Sergeant. I'll have the money for you. Shazam!
Hey, Pyle.
Hey, Sergeant Hacker, Corporal. Guess what?
What?
This car you didn't want?
Yeah.
I'm buying it.
You are?
Just as soon as I go over to the bank. I'm sure glad you decided not to buy it. Really was my lucky day. Well, I'll see you.
How do you like that guy? Sold his car right out from under me.
I guess Gomer had the cash.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I'll take care of that, Carter. I'll fix that Welcher, but good.
No. I know Pyle. He's just going in to tell Carter how great it runs.
Excuse me, Sergeant, you got a minute?
What's the problem, Pyle?
It's no problem. It's no problem at all. I just wanted to tell you how nice the car's been running. Fact is, I don't see how a car could run much better.
Yeah, well, that's nice. Now go get some sleep, will you?
Right, Sergeant. I just wanted to check in. And thank you, Sergeant. Thank you for making this one of the most thrilling days of my life.
Okay, now.
I'd sure like to know what you're going to prove, Sarge.
Shh, hold it down. Boy, this is going to shake up old Vince pretty good.
Okay, pour it in.
You've heard of gaslighting somebody, haven't you? Well, we're about to gas tank Carter right out of his skull.
But it ain't Carter's car anymore. It's Pyle's.
Oh, wait.
Wait till Carter hears the mileage that Pyle thinks he's getting. Keep going.
Hey, Pyle. Wait a minute. Wait up. You driving into town?
Oh, sure, Sergeant.
Well, you mind if I ride along with you?
Well, of course not. Be my pleasure.
Hey, car really looks good. What did you do?
Oh, just a wax cleaner's all. After I stripped all the old wax off, the paint job wasn't half as dull as I thought it'd be.
Yeah, well, really looks good. Hey, don't forget to fill her up before you leave the base.
Oh, I already did that, Sergeant, last night before I took her out for a test run.
How far'd you go?
Oh, I must have drove up and down the coast road a couple of times. Couldn't have been more than 70, 75 miles.
Well, I guess we got enough to get us into town, all right.
We got more than that, Sergeant. Gas gauge is right on full.
Huh? Well, it must be stuck or something. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to gas up when you hit town for sure. I'm sorry about the gas gauge, Pyle. You know I would have mentioned it if I'd known about it.
There's no need to apologize, Sergeant. I'm sure it ain't stuck. See, the gauge is down just a little bit.
I hate to be a killjoy, Pyle, but I know this car. It should be riding on empty by now.
Yes, sir.
Fill it up, please.
Yes, sir.
Well, one way or another, I don't mind telling you. I'm happy I don't have to worry about it. Yes, sir, my one big problem in life now is figuring out what I'm going to do with all the money I'm saving on gas.
Excuse me, Sergeant.
What's that?
Oh, well, this is my car diary. I like to keep a record of things like gas mileage and all.
Okay, Pyle. Just as long as you keep smiling.
That'll be 64 cents.
64 cents.
2 gallons on the button. That's all it takes.
That's all?
Did you hear that, Sergeant? The gauge ain't broke after all. Let's see. 76 miles and 2 gallons. Shazam! Sergeant, you ain't gonna believe this, but I'm getting 38 miles to the gallon. Can you imagine that? 38 miles.
That's impossible. How can you get 38?
I don't know, but there it is. You double check it, but I'm sure I got my figures right.
Yeah. What'd you do? You do something to it, like the carburetor?
No, all I done was turn the carburetor set screw one time.
And you got 38? That's impossible. How could that be? How could that be?
Hey, Sergeant, may I come in?
What's up, Pyle?
Sergeant, guess what? Guess what? I just had to come and tell you right away. It's about my car. I just had it filled up with gas again, and guess what?
You're right back down to 12 miles a gallon.
No, Sergeant, I'm up to 45.
45? Pyle, you gotta be kidding.
No, Sergeant, I knew you wouldn't believe me, so I had to make out a receipt. See there? 32 cents. Why, that car's costed me practically nothing to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I say something, Sergeant? Are you mad at me?
Not you, Pyle. I'm mad at myself. Stupid, stupid, stupid. That's me. All hindsight, no front sight.
I don't follow you, Sergeant.
Forget it, Pyle. The fact is, it's a lot tougher being without a car than I ever dreamed.
It is?
Well, not for me personally, mind you. It's Bunny, poor kid. Boy, I never dreamed bus fumes could hit a person like that. All through the movie, she was toxic, Pyle, toxic.
Golly.
And the blisters on her feet. It just kills me to have to make her walk everywhere. Like the other night, on the way home from the chiropodist, I had to carry her almost the whole way.
That's terrible, Sergeant.
Boy, that's rich, ain't it? Here I sell you the car because I can't afford it. And all of a sudden, I'm pouring twice as much money down the drain on door-to-door cab fares.
But, Sergeant...
Now, listen, why should I stand here boring you, huh? A deal is a deal, right? I mean, it's my own fault that I didn't look before I leaped. Not that I can explain that to Bunny's feet.
Sergeant, you don't have to say another word.
What do you mean?
Sergeant, you want me to sell you back your car?
Oh, no. No, I couldn't. I couldn't do that to you, Pyle.
But, Sergeant...
Pyle, a deal is a deal. Pyle, I sold you the car, and that's it. Pyle, wait a minute!
Hey, Pyle, how's the old car running?
Oh, just fine, Sergeant. Only it ain't mine anymore.
You're kidding. What do you mean? Whose is it?
I just sold it back to Sergeant Carter.
Well, how come? I thought you were in love with this thing.
Well, actually, it was more for Miss Bunny's sake, seeing how her health was suffering.
Her health?
Uh-huh, the poor thing was getting sick riding buses and walking, and the sergeant needed the car more than he realized.
Yeah. Well, your sergeant is one considerate guy, all right. I mean, how many guys would go against their better judgment just for the sake of a girl, I ask you?
Well, that's the sergeant, all right.
And the car belongs to him again, right?
As of this very minute.
Welcome to step number 2. Now that Carter owns the car again, we start siphoning the gas out.